Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. This is my review of the Zeiss Distagon 35mm f1.4. So the Zeiss Distagon, or the Zeiss 35mm f1.4 for Leica M mount, is Zeiss's fastest lens for the Leica M mount. It's also probably their larger. Maybe their telephoto is about the same size, but it's pretty large. Now there's a lot that's been said about this lens. It's known online for kind of having like a really excellent rendition. It has the Zeiss look, so to speak, so it has lots of micro contrast. You know, I'm still not entirely sure what micro contrast is as like a concept, but suffice to say that this lens renders textures. So like, this is uninspiring, but like the side of a brick wall or like something that has like a very like rough and gritty texture. In my experience, it renders those textures very, very well, and it makes your photos feel very lifelike, especially whenever you have like a rough texture or even just like so much detail on somebody's face compared to a very smooth background. It really gives a photo a 3D pop. There's definitely like lots of contrast. It kind of looks like you've gone into Lightroom and set the clarity slider to max. It's crazy what this lens does. As far as like optical details, I believe it's 10 lens elements in 7 groups, 3 APD elements, and 2 spherical elements. So chromatic aberrations will be well controlled. I shoot on film with this lens, which is probably the best idea, but I haven't seen any chromatic aberrations. Probably because of that, probably because the lens is likely very well corrected. So the only thing I have to say optically about this lens that could be construed as negative is that this lens vignettes insane. Like it's like -2 EV in the corners. It's a very, very strong vignette. And I think on film, this isn't always the biggest of a deal because lots of people like to overexpose film anyways. Whenever you overexpose, it obviously brings everything up, and as long as the highlight retention is good enough, you know, it just looks fine. But on digital, that could be an issue, especially if you use like a Leica M10, where you kind of have to underexpose anyways, and then you're really asking a lot of the sensor to pull back up those corners in post if you're trying to fix that. So that's just something to keep in mind. Otherwise, I'd say that the image quality on this lens may be one of the best that you can get for the Leica M system. Like really, it's excellent. It's very sharp all throughout the range. Obviously, at 5.6, f8 probably the sharpest, but at f1.4, it's sharper than 1,000 times folded Japanese steel blade. It is ridiculous. Ergonomics-wise, it's also just excellently, beautifully built. It's made in Japan, and the focus ring is a 90-degree throw, and it's kind of stiff. I'd say whenever I got it, I did get it used, but whenever I got it, I think it was stiffer than now, but it's still stiff, especially compared to my Summicron, which new, fresh out of the box. You can slam that thing from side to side if you want to focus from infinity and go close, infinity, do some fast street photography focusing. It's very quick. On this, it's definitely focusing more on getting like a balance of accuracy and speed. So for that very shallow depth of field whenever you're doing portraiture, I'm sure the Zeiss engineers wanted you to be able to actually maintain that as you're taking the photo and actually like get like a good degree of precision on focusing. And I guess you could kind of continue to see that precision in the aperturing because it is a 1/3 of a stop clicked aperturing. So every 1/3 of a stop, there's a click, which I think is a lot more than usual. I think Leica lenses, let me check. Yeah, on my Summicron, it's a 1/2 stop and they're not marked, but this is a 1/3 of a stop and they are marked on the lens barrel. It's also feels, the mechanics are amazing. I will say that the entirety of the lens barrel after the focus ring is actually part of the aperture ring, which is great because that means you can grab practically anywhere on the barrel and just start twisting and you're changing the aperture, which I mean, especially if you have like really big hands, if you're just a big guy in general, then you may really enjoy this. Plenty of real estate on this lens, essentially. It's quite the large lens. It feels nice to hold. It's very weighty and high quality. You know, this is well built, but it is on a Leica M6, as I'll show you. It does not balance very well, like really at all. And in addition, there's also this sun hood, which, while fantastic functionally, is quite the addition to an already long lens. It really kind of looks like a telephoto. And with such a long lens, you're also getting a little bit of viewfinder blockage. So on this, I'll say maybe 20% of the viewfinder is, maybe about 20% of the viewfinder is blocked with just the lens, and then maybe add like 5 to 10% more with the lens hood. This is a great little lens. I actually used this for street photography for the first 6 months to a year that I had my Leica. Definitely not the lens for street photography, but hey, it's got that image quality, so as long as I was willing to carry it around, I guess it was the lens. You know, the lens is, that's the lens you have with you is the lens you need, I guess. But yeah, I used it for street photography for forever, and I think for portraits, that's really where this lens excels. I think you're gonna make your clients or your friends or whoever you're taking portraits of or documenting really happy with the photos out of this lens. It's really gorgeous. Really optically, extremely high praise. As far as price goes, it is 2,300 USD MSRP. With the caveat that I'm pretty sure you can find these used for significantly less. I believe I bought this for maybe $1,600, including the lens hood. The lens hood is $200, so if you think about it like an owner coping with price, then that's a $1,400 lens. That's a steal. And really, I think compared to the Similux, if price is no object, maybe the Similux is better. I think the optics are quite similar. I think it depends on the person who goes either way. But I think the ergonomics of the Similux are almost certainly better. It's much shorter, it's lighter. The lens hood doesn't stick out as much. But I think this is really an excellent option. And I'd highly recommend it, especially if you're doing portraits, but really to anybody looking for a lens, especially if they don't care it's big. It's big. Don't buy this lens if you want to carry it around everywhere. It's really big, don't buy it. It's big, but it's also really good. So do buy it, but don't buy it if it's too big for you. It's this big. But anyways, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed all the sample images in this video. Please like and comment and share and subscribe. Comment, and yeah, have a good one. Thanks so much for watching. Bye-bye. Don't even know. We're all professional up here. I ain't even wearing pants.
No really thought this was analog insight or something. Nope.
That's just how we do it.